much. Good stuff, team, and thanks for your company as always. Look forward to seeing you next time on The Chase Australia.
On 7 News tonight, the hero Brisbane police officer who saved her wounded partner's life.
The blame game as a city lies in ruins. Now the almost impossible task of rebuilding Beirut.
Traffic queues building as the border shutdown looms. The trapped drivers need to know about.
Patience running thin over plans for a mass protest in Brisbane this weekend.
Benny cools his jets, banned from the Broncos Bunnies blockbuster.
And a television first, the Ekka fireworks show live later in the news.
This is 7 News with Sharyn, Ghidella and Max Futcher.
Good evening from the Ekka, where later this hour the skies over Brisbane will be lit up as the Ekka sends a message of hope to Queensland.
And we'll bring it to you live from every vantage point here on 7 News. But first, he'll bear a scar across his face for life, but the Queensland Police Service could have been mourning the loss of a senior constable, if not for the heroics of his partner.
The policewoman gunned down an armed offender on a routine call-out in Upper Mount Gravatt.
Recounting the instant instinct overcame fear. An officer walks investigators down Hillgrove Street, where hours earlier she'd opened fire.
That's why we have to arm our police and train them to such a high level and to deal with these sorts of situations. It's reality.
But not a reality two senior constables anticipated when they arrived at this Upper Mount Gravatt home to serve legal papers to a 25-year-old man.
That is an absolutely everyday event. What followed from that is not an everyday event.
The alleged offender emerged with a knife around 5 p.m. yesterday, running, then lunging at the retreating male officer.
Suffered a very serious wound, a slashing across his face and across his nose.
Almost from ear to ear, his partner's reaction swift, emptying her Glock pistol, hitting the armed suspect in the torso.
My understanding is it's probably 3 or 4 times that he was struck.
We were inside and just heard some gunshots.
James Lee, one of several residents who went to help.
Came out the front and there was a police officer walking down the side of the road with some blood on his face, and he was asking for some towels.
Witnesses say the female senior constable stood here in the street for several minutes, waiting for backup to arrive, her weapon fixed on the alleged offender as he lay on the footpath, still yelling for him to throw the knife away.
Trying to tell him to put it down, but he didn't. He just held it there.
That alleged offender, 25-year-old Sava Hatzipapas, is in an induced coma, but should survive. The policeman will recover too, but some scars don't heal.
He will have a lifelong reminder of what's occurred to him.
On a night his partner turned protector. Mac Lyon, 7 News.
Anger is building in Beirut as the investigation into what caused yesterday's cataclysmic explosion deepens. The scene in Lebanon's capital today was one of total devastation. More than half the city blown apart. Hope of finding survivors is fading. The death toll now stands at 135. Residents are facing a mammoth and seemingly impossible task to rebuild.
Beirut now a profile in devastation. City blocks shredded, office towers skinned. Whichever way you look at it, from the air or on the ground, Beirut was changed in an instant. More distressing videos of the blast moment from inside cars and apartments. Here, a woman and 3 children captured by the events outside the window. Then,
Oh my God!
another view from a phone camera. The panic in her voice rising with the intensity of the blaze that they're watching. It's unclear what happened to those in the room. At least 5,000 were injured and hundreds are still missing. But this morning, one less from this site. Also lucky to survive, Australian John Paul Rahul.
My blood here is all my blood.
Returning to his devastated unit today, still unable to comprehend how he and his mother lived.
And I saw a white cloud coming here. And I flew all the way here.
3 metres saved, he says, by the couch. His home, one of 300,000 impacted.
My husband in hospital. My housemate hospital.
The hospitals battled to cope, and among the casualties, a 4-day-old baby girl, Sophie Arjury, peppered with glass as her mother was breastfeeding her.
I tried to protect her, but I couldn't do more than this.
The lives lost include those heard here. Firefighters trying to tackle the initial warehouse blaze, first on the scene, first to perish. Here, before and after satellite photos, it's like the blast took a bite from the shoreline. It has redrawn the coastal map.
We need justice in this world. We need justice.
Looking now for survivors, victims and answers. As it emerged, the volatile ammonium nitrate stockpile had been removed from this Russian-owned ship and, despite written warnings from customs officials, had sat there 6 years. The anger already boiling over. Political leaders mobbed trying to visit the scene. Fury that what looked like an act of war was instead official incompetence. Chris Reason, 7 News.
Beirut has rebuilt itself in the past after major earthquakes, a civil war and explosions and suicide bombings. But this time, for some reason, people are saying it feels different. This is a country that was already in survival mode before the explosion. It was under the burden of an unprecedented financial and economic crisis and fighting a pandemic. At what cost will it be able to stand on its feet? People are also questioning whether the politicians will be able to really help rebuild this country because they've lost trust in the political system.
Dalal Marwa reporting for us there from Beirut. Now to Steve Titmus, who's in Greenslopes, where, Steve, the Brisbane Lebanese community has come together.
Yes, Max, they have. They are praying for their country and its people. There are people here who have lost friends. They are in shock with what has happened. This Catholic service is being attended by the Honorary Consul of Lebanon, Anthony Torby. It is being conducted by Father Fadi Salame. He lost a childhood friend in the blast.
I didn't believe at the beginning, but after that I realized that it's real, like George and other people who died, so we have to accept it and we have to cope with the catastrophe that happened to Lebanon.
Brisbane has been rallying behind the local Lebanese community. The Story and Victoria bridges were last night lit up in red, white and green, the colours of the Lebanese flag. The community have set up GoFundMe pages and donations are being distributed to Beirut through the Red Cross. It's back to you.
All right, thank you, Steve. The New South Wales exodus is on as thousands of people pour into Queensland trying to avoid this weekend's border closure. It will be the toughest shutdown we've seen in this pandemic, with Queenslanders warned one wrong move could leave you stranded.
Days out from the southern border ban, traffic chaos caused by a northern migration.
I think this is ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, we're all locals and we've got to get across the border every day.
2-hour delays as the rush to enter Queensland reaches full frustration.
Playing politics with people's lives.
From Saturday, all New South Wales and the ACT are off limits.
There will be those exemptions given to people who are living close to the border, and it'll only be for specific purposes.
Applications for those X-marked border passes will be available online from tomorrow afternoon. The exact locations of exempt border suburbs is being worked out. Locksmith Evan Jennings works in Tweed Heads but lives in Coomera and doesn't know if he'll be approved.
So, if I can't get to work, then what happens then?
After the deadline, the southern state line becomes a hard border. Returning residents can't cross by road.
Whilst there will be some unfortunate incidents and issues that people occur on the way, unfortunately, this is a zero tolerance thing.
It means one wrong turn or missed exit in border areas could be disastrous. Under the rules, a non-exempt Queenslander who accidentally ends up in New South Wales could be made to fly home and do hotel quarantine.
Where people make those mistakes, it's unknown at this stage what would happen.
It's expected the rush of people coming back to the Sunshine State will continue right up until that hard border is established on Saturday morning. And that includes some Queensland residents returning from hotspots. So, planning for that, police are prepping more accommodation facilities to be used as hotel quarantine.
So we are seeing increased quarantine pressures on the hotels that we have, and we are adjusting to that. So our planning is ready to accommodate that, and we expect that increase to happen over the next few days.
A few days that are shaping as very busy on the border.
So we're going to have to be patient.
From the coast to the west, the race to return to Queensland is underway. Traffic queues even building at Gundawindi.
Looks long enough, longer than I'd want to get into.
As the Sunshine State's shutters prepare to come up. And another place we're expecting that rush as more and more people scramble to get back to the Sunshine State is at our airports. And here at Brisbane Airport, just in the last couple of minutes, we saw a flight arrive from Wollongong. All of the passengers disembarking wearing a mask, and all of them going through the very rigid police checks to make sure they are all eligible to enter Queensland. And in the next couple of hours, we're expecting 5 flights from Canberra and 1 from Sydney to touch down here at Brisbane. And compared to recent months, that is a very busy period for the airport, and that is expected to continue tomorrow as the countdown to the shutdown draws near.
All right, thank you, Joel. Alex Lewis is on the border for us tonight, where the traffic is building.
Yes, Sharyn, and authorities warned it'll only get worse tomorrow. Long lines are expected as Queenslanders rush to get back home before the 1 a.m. Saturday deadline. The Premier has also shot down the idea of a Tweed travel bubble, meaning going into New South Wales for a surf is no longer on. But residents here we've spoken to believe that reverting to an exemption system may actually improve traffic flow here at the border checkpoints.
Thank you, Alex. Well, he helped write the rules but insists he didn't know he was breaking them. Wayne Bennett dining out for lunch in Sydney and now banned from tomorrow's Broncos-South grudge match for breaching the NRL's COVID bubble.
The Supercoach has been ordered to get tested after breaking the bubble.
If it was a breach, I wouldn't have done it. I didn't think it was a breach. I went there with my partner who I live with.
Bennett on the defence and benched for having lunch at this Italian restaurant in Sydney yesterday.
The rules have changed that many times.
But he helped make the rules for the NRL's Project Apollo, banning coaches, players and officials from attending pubs, restaurants and cafes.
Intentional or not, we have to adhere to the standards.
And as I said, I didn't think I was breaking any rules yesterday.
Convinced he'd done nothing wrong, he held a training session this morning ahead of tomorrow night's clash with his old team at Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, I think it is tough, and you can definitely see why people get themselves into a bit of trouble with a bit of murky water.
He's out of the bubble and he's been put on what we call a COVID hold for 14 days.
But it remains unclear whether the Broncos will be forced into extra quarantine measures for Bennett's bungle after the Sydney game. What is now clearer, the latest case in Queensland. The 68-year-old Ipswich woman who tested positive yesterday returned 2 negative results today.
And there's more confusion about the government's handling of the security contractor who was given an exemption to fly back to Queensland before testing positive. The Prime Minister says Queensland was operating outside of national arrangements.
I reject that. Now another issue for National Cabinet. Marlene Wapp, 7 News.
A city of 5 million people is tonight eerily quiet as historic stage 4 restrictions kick in across Melbourne. After yesterday's record numbers, another 471 cases were confirmed today. Also 8 deaths, with half of those linked to aged care. For the next 6 weeks, the streets will remain empty.
The only way to kill a virus, depriving it of hosts. This was Melbourne, the day 250,000 people awoke to no job. Day 1 of 42 in lockdown.
At the moment, it's just really depressing.
Essential services only, shops closed, big and small, permits to prove why you're outside, and severe penalties if you can't.
You've got to do what you've got to do to save the people's lives.
They're going to look back on it and see it's a very strange time, I think.
Strangest of all, Melbourne's vibrant streets, all but abandoned. Bustling Bourke Street Mall is shut. 471 new COVID cases were confirmed today, 8 deaths, 42 in intensive care, including a young child. With a prediction sourced to Victoria's government, cases might exceed 1,000 a day before it improves. But
I have not seen any modelling that suggests that.
So much attention on this second wave has been dedicated to what, where, when. Today there was a renewed focus on how and why. Victoria's coroner will investigate potential industrial manslaughter charges at St Basil's, with allegations the nursing home kept quiet for days about COVID infections. And for a Premier who has been across so much information today.
I don't have the answers. There are questions that cannot be answered. I've not received any further briefings. I don't have answers that I am satisfied with.
Neither did journalists asking whether Dan Andrews had approved incompetent security guards to monitor quarantine hotels against advice.
Are you saying that the Crisis Council of Cabinet didn't have any role in making these decisions about ADF troops?
I'm not saying that at all.
But you're part of that Crisis Council, and you're saying you don't have the answers.
No answers, even though the questions were all about him, what he knew and when.
Do you know who made that decision in the end to have security guards?
No, in terms of exactly who has made decisions at an operational level, they are some of the questions I simply don't have the answers to.
Robert Ovadia, 7 News.
It's only been cancelled 3 times in its 143-year history, but some parts of the show must go on. And tonight, the Ekka's fireworks will be record-breaking. While no one is allowed at the showgrounds, the best vantage point, right here on 7. But it's not the only treat in store.
Fast food with a distinct show flavour. Sideshow Alley transformed into a drive-through for Dagwood dogs and strawberry sundaes from 11 a.m. tomorrow.
That'll run for the 10 days of what would have been the Ekka.
On King Street, taste award-winning produce.
I think the food is a key factor, but that's coming from a chef.
And for the first time in history, the show is heading to the suburbs. 3 strawberry sundae pop-ups will run the entire 10 days at Morayfield Shopping Centre, Skygate and the Logan Hyperdome. Others will open select days at Milton, Chermside, Albany Creek and Springfield as more events move online.
Meet a farmer, explore the virtual animal nursery, get some great gardening tips.
But this year, the fireworks are the showstopper, shooting 270 metres into the sky, the largest display in Ekka history.
The pyrotechnics display is reaching new heights, launched off 8 different locations across the empty showgrounds, including this rooftop.
But that makes setting them up all that more difficult. Designed to be seen from the comfort of your couch. Sit back, relax and enjoy the show. Georgie Chumley, 7 News.
Now to Tony Auden, and you're a little closer to where the action is tonight.
Yes, Sharyn, it's all in readiness here at ground level in the main arena. Of course, we are expecting those fireworks to be launched from a number of locations across the showgrounds here and reaching close to 300 metres, which is much higher than we normally expect during the Ekka because of those crowds. It'll be the biggest for the Ekka's history and the biggest across Queensland this year. But now, onto the weather. A sunny and warm day across the southeast, plenty of early smoke haze. Our warmer spots, 27 degrees for Ipswich, Beaudesert and Greenbank, after all dropped to just 3 degrees overnight. Here in Brisbane, 26 degrees. That was a little bit warmer than yesterday, 23s and 24s by the Bayside. Now, we are expecting some rain tomorrow. I'll be back soon with the forecast, of course, right here from the main arena with that fireworks spectacular.
Not long now. Thanks for that, Tony. He choked and bit a Queensland policewoman after being turfed out of a pub. Now he's been kicked out of the country. The tough message to other criminals.
The police warning to protesters planning to blockade the Story Bridge.
Cocaine, fast cars and furious opposition counting down to the US presidential election.
And a little unsolicited advice, the aged care resident who told Will and Kate what she really thinks.
There is a story behind every dish. Its origin, its heritage, its culture.
I really want to do my country proud.
I love it.
It's not just a cooking competition, it's a celebration of why we live in this beautiful country.
Australia. Expect joy, expect pride in who you are and how you cook, and expect food that you'll want to cook at home.
Let the flames begin! Plate of origin.
With all my favorite colors, all my favorite colors.
In a world full of flavour, don't let your denture leave you with bad breath. Try new Polydent Cleansing Wipes, our quickest and easiest way to refresh your denture for that super fresh feeling, at home or out and about.
The Nick Scully winter clearance is on now. Save up to 30% on a great range of selected items, floor stock and discontinued lines. The Nick Scully winter clearance on now.
Feeding her gut and its good bacteria, making it tasty. That's my criteria.
New Helga's Digestive Wellbeing feeds the good bacteria in your gut.
Make your house feel like home with Beacon's Makeover Sale. Get 30% off your second item when you mix and match from our entire range of lights and fans. That's a saving of 30% on your second item. Sale ends next Sunday.
So what cash flow boost is available for my business?
What are the tax rules around job seeker payments?
We've all got tax questions this year. Thankfully, at H&R Block, we have the answers.
Let's get you started.
Maximise your tax refund. Book an appointment today.
Hester is a super fund that supports people whose work helps others. Their stories inspire us to give them a stronger financial future and a better world to retire into. It's our way of saying thank you.
South Australia. You have to see it to believe it. And you can, thanks to 20% off South Australia holiday packages on Webjet.
With all my favorite colors, all my favorite colors.
What do I love? I love riding my bike. What do I love? I love my dog, my tiny baby.
I love to teach. I love all my little Einsteins.
I love not blending in. I love to stand out.
Celebrate all the things you love and more with 20% off Pandora jewellery. Available for a limited time only. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Meet the revolutionary Sleeping Duck mattress taking Australia by storm. It's the next generation mattress reimagined by aerospace engineers, making history. Choices best overall mattress 2 years in a row. That's Sleeping Duck. One giant leap for your sleep.
The Ekka heating up as we get ready for the fireworks live on your TV in around 32 minutes.
A man convicted of repeatedly choking, then biting a policewoman after he was kicked out of the Brook Hotel has been deported back to New Zealand. His visa cancelled on character grounds. Hilton King received a wholly suspended sentence after pleading guilty to assault charges.
I think it's good riddance to him. I'm glad that he's gone, and I'm sorry that the young police officer will live for the rest of her life scarred with the memory of that incident.
He was among 30 New Zealand citizens who were loaded onto 2 charter flights this week.
Revving a Corvette, talking cocaine, getting in trouble with Facebook. Just another day on the US presidential campaign like no other. With election day fast approaching, coronavirus is wreaking havoc on the traditional race.
COVID-careful campaigning in a Corvette. Events, stunts are now online. Joe Biden behind the wheel talking American-made.
This is just boom.
Another staple, the big nomination acceptance speech, gone. Biden now won't be at his party's convention. Trump looking at doing his speech from the White House.
I think it would be a very convenient location. It would be by far the least expensive location.
But critics say that breaches a long-held tradition.
You don't have political events in the Capitol. You don't have political events in the White House.
With no rallies, each side sniping via social media.
Every day that Donald Trump fails to get this virus under control is another day our economy falls further and further behind.
Joe Biden sits in his basement, alone, hiding, diminished.
Biden bristling when asked if he'd taken a test for cognitive decline.
Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man.
That's like saying before you got in this program, you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh?
And for the first time, Facebook pulled one of Donald Trump's posts of him saying children were almost immune from coronavirus.
If you look at children, I mean, they're able to throw it off very easily.
Facebook called it harmful misinformation, the coronavirus touching everything, with 90 days until America votes. In the United States, Paul Kadak, 7 News.
Meghan Markle has claimed an early victory ahead of her upcoming celebrity trial in London. Britain's High Court ruling the names of her 5 friends who defended her in an article published in People magazine can be kept secret. The Mail on Sunday wanted the names public as it defends its publication of a private letter between Meghan and her father.
They're used to meeting all kinds of people, but rarely is anyone this frank with a royal. 87-year-old Joan Drew Smith was reminiscing with the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge about the time they called her bingo game, when she gave a very blunt assessment.
You won?
Yes.
Yeah, but you said we didn't do a very good job. Excellent.
William said it's nice to have someone around who'll tell him the truth.
She sure did.
Very blunt.
Nice one, Jane. They're threatening a sit-in on the Story Bridge. How police plan to break up the protest and keep traffic moving.
You wouldn't want to be on the end of this the moment a police dog tracks down a wanted man.
A big development in the next stage of Gold Coast Light Rail.
And a bunch of new phones released, the one Samsung claims is made for the post-COVID world.
Tonight is a huge night. It is The Farmer Wants a Wife, a country ball.
And love is in the air.
I came here to find a partner, fall in love and live happily ever after.
But one farmer is about to have his heart broken.
That's true then?
Yeah.
She just betrayed me. I definitely liked her. I thought she was a great girl, but I was pretty hurt to hear that.
I was in shock.
A bit emotional. Hey. Probably best to not come back to the farm.
New Farmer Wants a Wife. Sunday at 7 on 7.
Tired of cleansers that leave skin dull? The power of micellar with the glow of rosewater. New Garnier Micellar Rosewater Cleanser. Micelles lift dirt like a magnet. In one swipe removes makeup and reveals the glow. New Micellar Rosewater by Garnier. Naturally.
Switch gives you the power to pick your promo. This Saturday in races 1 to 4 at Flemington, Rosehill and Doomben. Choose whether to double your winnings or get bonus back if your horse finishes 2nd or 3rd. Ladbrokes, back yourself.
The Nick Scali winter clearance is on now. Save up to 30% on a great range of selected items, floor stock and discontinued lines. The Nick Scali winter clearance on now.
Not till after dinner. Oh, did he? Right, yeah. All right, just fine.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Hay fever and allergies can strike any time. At Terry White ChemMart, we're here to help you breathe easy this season. With expert advice on the dual use of antihistamines and nasal spray to help relieve your symptoms. Terry White ChemMart. Now that's real chemistry.
Queensland, the world has been ravaged by COVID-19, with more than 18 million cases. In Australia, strong action on borders has worked well, and Queensland has one of the lowest rates in the country. But to enjoy eased restrictions and keep supporting jobs, we must take social distancing seriously or risk undoing all our hard work. To learn more about the Queensland Economic Recovery Plan, visit this website. Authorised by the Queensland Government, Brisbane.
Back yourself this NRL season with Ladbrokes. Score more value when you place a bet on the NRL with Ladbrokes and get $2 lines for every team in all games this round. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
Right now, the comfort of our home has never been more important. So it's good to know that at Fantastic Furniture, you can shop our entire range in-store or online, now with contactless delivery and click and collect services. Find your fantastic today.
There will never be a bigger Ekka fireworks than tonight, live on your TV screen in 25 minutes' time.
Up to 3,000 refugee protesters say they have no choice but to shut down the Story Bridge this Saturday because their demands aren't being met. But Queensland police say the action is dangerous to public health and warn anyone who enters the bridge will be arrested.
A blockade now 54 days long. Protesters want more freedoms for the asylum seekers detained in this Kangaroo Point hotel.
To act on our demands for freeing these men just in and out of the facility to exercise.
This Saturday, their action ramps up a gear. Up to 3,000 protesters vowing to cripple one of the city's main thoroughfares.
We don't want to go on the bridge, and the easy way out of it is to just have the conversation with us, with Alan Tudge and Peter Dutton and Scott Morrison.
Other members of the community have human rights as well, and that includes about their right to go about their lawful business. They can expect to be arrested.
There are fears a pandemic protest is too big a risk.
We'll have masks, we'll have sanitizers.
The Premier must do everything possible to stop this protest,
including possible court action.
All options are being looked at. All options.
Police say that from a public health point of view alone, Saturday's action should not go ahead, and there are plenty of other ways for protesters to get their point of view across.
The whole thing has escalated and gotten worse because the police have done such a bad job of working collaboratively with other stakeholders.
So they're not engaging with us, so that makes our job really incredibly difficult.
Protesters say they've signed a pledge which includes a willingness to be arrested.
I think civil disobedience does have its role in democracy because the people are tired and angry. They're here right now.
Katrina Blowers, 7 News.
A 23-year-old man has been arrested over 2 Sunshine Coast ram raids. They found him hiding in a creek by the dog squad after trying to run through bushland from police. Around $2,000 worth of camera equipment was stolen during raids involving a van.
An associate of the male that hired that vehicle the evening before from Brisbane. False plates were fitted to the vehicle during the offences, but clearly there's a female that is seen near the vehicle.
The man has been charged with 6 offences. Police are still trying to recover the stolen goods.
The ongoing cost of Victoria's harsh lockdown has been revealed. $12 billion will be slashed from the national economy in just 3 months, and up to 400,000 Australians will be forced out of work. The Prime Minister says it's a huge blow, but the Victorian Premier claims there's no other option.
Victoria is bearing the brunt of the second wave, but the entire nation will pay the price.
This is a heavy blow. A heavy blow.
Treasury now estimating the lockdown will strip between $10 and $12 billion from the economy in the September quarter, and the prediction of 250,000 more Australians losing their jobs before Christmas is now
between 250,000 and 400,000.
With the official rate of unemployment now predicted to hit 10% and the effective rate, including those on JobKeeper but not working, 13 to 14%. From the Victorian Premier,
I think the economic cost will be far, far higher if we don't get these numbers down.
And the Treasurer, himself a Victorian.
Australia is a country at 2 different stages. There's Victoria and the rest.
For the ordinary Australian, it means less jobs, it means less sales in retailers, it means more businesses struggling.
And Parliament will now resume on August 24, but Victorian members will need to quarantine for a fortnight first, either at home or here in the ACT, starting Monday.
I'm planning to self-isolate in Canberra.
Labor wants those who can't leave Victoria to join via video link to debate, but not vote.
These are not normal circumstances, which is why they require flexibility.
A request the government is considering. Mark Riley, 7 News.
The state government is all aboard stage 4 of the light rail project on the Gold Coast. Amanda Abate is going all the way to Coolangatta.
Well, that's right, Max. $7 million has been put forward by the state government and the council today for this next stage of the project, extending from the Futcher line to Burleigh right through to the airport. A business case will get underway to work out the best route, in particular through Palm Beach.
Whatever route that we choose, you'll never get 100% of people agreeing on that particular route. But what we saw in the multimodal study was that the majority of people wanted it along the Gold Coast Highway.
Well, work would start after stage 3 is complete from 2023.
Thank you, Amanda. Tech giants have stepped up again in the battle for smartphone supremacy, with Samsung and Huawei unveiling new handsets today. Both boast new cameras, clear screens and next-generation speed, but Samsung claims its phone is designed for the post-COVID world.
Streamed live from South Korea, the launch of Samsung's latest devices.
Today, the world has changed so unpredictably, and we cannot simply continue like in the past.
COVID has seen phone sales last quarter here in Australia down by a staggering 27% compared to the same time last year. But people working from home are looking to upgrade.
In the last few months, consumers in Australia have spent 40% more on technology.
It's a crowded market right now. Huawei releasing its new P40 Plus here tomorrow.
Huawei have just gone to the top of the smartphone rankings according to the latest shipping figures. They do have still customer base, but it's very limited what you can do with the phone because of that restriction to Android.
In a blow for Apple, the iPhone 12 that was due to launch next month now isn't ready. Issues with supply means a release date is likely towards the end of the year.
Their factories are all in China. They were shut down at some point. Their supply chain was also severely affected. You're probably looking maybe October, even early November.
And for its competitors, that presents an opportunity.
We believe the Note will do incredibly well in Australia.
Cameron Price, 7 News.
Checking finance now, and the Australian share market closed higher, helped by strong commodity prices. The ASX 200 added 41 points thanks to a 4.5% surge by BHP. It added $1.68. Village Roadshow fell 3 cents despite securing $70 million in funding from banks and the Queensland government. The Australian dollar is strong, buying 72 US cents and $1.08 New Zealand. And checking Fuelcast, avoid filling the tank if you can. Prices are still high. The average cost of unleaded petrol is $1.39 in Brisbane.
Don't go anywhere. Less than 20 minutes now until the state's biggest fireworks show. A thank you from the Ekka to the people of Queensland, live here on 7 News. And thousands entered. We reveal the winners of the Ekka competition giveaway. But let's go back to the studio now with Pat, and you're missing out.
One Sunday, please, Sharyn, if you can. Be lovely. Hello, everyone. Ahead, the Lions ready to atone for recent sins. A boost for the Broncos. More on league's COVID drama as two of the game's biggest names are quarantined. And the shocking smash that's left a cyclist fighting for life.
Follow the trail as all the pieces come together.
No crime is unsolvable.
New Murdoch Mysteries, tonight on 7/2. The all-new Isuzu D-Max is coming. Are you ready? Search all-new D-Max.
Scores are level, so it's still anybody's game. There's the tap, looks it out, sells the candy, heads into an open goal and drops it! That's gotta hurt. That's the stuff nightmares are made of.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of dinner. With Coles Fresh Tasmanian Salmon Skin Off 460-gram 4-pack, down to just $14. Save $2 a pack. Coles, good things, great value.
When did every day start to feel like one of those days? It's why we developed Panadol Rapid. Absorbed 2 times faster than regular Panadol tablets, so you can keep pace with the day. The thing is, today's pace takes a toll. It's time to rethink how we look after ourselves. Because every positive change, no matter how small, can make all the difference. Together, let's rethink care.
Winter feels so much more cosy with 50% off at Plush. Shop in showroom or online, now with 48 months interest-free.
It's $25.
How about 16?
It's $25.
$16.50?
Eric, what the French fry are you doing?
I'm hunting for a home loan tomorrow, so I'm practicing my haggle.
No need. St George gives you your lowest personalised rate up front.
So no haggling?
It's a St George thing.
Hey!
Oh boy.
25's fine.
Drive, Eric, drive.
Thank you!
Get your lowest personalised rate up front. Available on basic home loans when you apply online.
The MG Triple Value sale is now on. Get triple value this month with $555 cash back across the range, an MG gift pack, and MG 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Queensland, the world has been ravaged by COVID-19, with more than 18 million cases. In Australia, strong action on borders has worked well, and Queensland has one of the lowest rates in the country. But to enjoy eased restrictions and keep supporting jobs, we must take social distancing seriously or risk undoing all our hard work. To learn more about the Queensland Economic Recovery Plan, visit this website. Authorised by the Queensland Government, Brisbane.
What's your name?
Sorry, I've already got a boyfriend. Did someone say KFC?
It's time to whip out your wands.
Come on, give me a smile.
For fantastic beasts and where to find them. Tonight on Mate.
The Sports Report brought to you by KFC. Get your KFC contact free today.
As you've seen, Wayne Bennett will watch tomorrow night's Broncos grudge match from his couch, forced to isolate after breaching the NRL biosecurity bubble. The Rabbitohs coach admitted to dining at a Sydney restaurant, contravening rules he helped write.
An Italian lunch at Grappa had Wayne Bennett grappling with the NRL's COVID convention.
I'm confident I do know the rules, and as I said, I just went for lunch yesterday, 2 of us, someone I live with. I know I'm still allowed to eat, aren't I?
Yes, but not at restaurants, pubs or cafes under Project Apollo protocols, a committee Bennett sits on.
He removes himself from the bubble of the team and the official environment, so he can't coach and he can't be at training or at the games.
We've got rules for ourselves, and then there's societies, and then there's the border stuff. I come from Queensland. I've got family up there still. We're totally confused about what we can do and can't do.
Dragons test prop Paul Vaughan didn't offer an excuse, only an apology. Going out for match day breakfast, he joins Bennett in a 2-week COVID hold.
We're talking about a pandemic, so there's people's lives at stake. So there's the safety of the community. It's not just about keeping the competition going.
It is tough, and you can definitely see why people get themselves into a bit of trouble with a bit of murky water.
South still have Broncos intel. Jason Demetrio takes over the reins.
We're going to be the head coach here in 12 months' time, so he's ready for the moment.
That'd be a bit strange if you're probably rocking up to the game without your coach, but they got classy players.
So does Carrigan. David Fafita and Matt Lodge are back, adding X Factor and Grunt to a side showing glimpses of improvement.
Near enough's not good enough for us as a group, and there's no point in coming off the field saying we got better if you're not getting the 2 points at the end of the day.
At least one Queensland team will win this weekend. Jordan McLean toughens up the Cowboys for Sunday's Titans clash.
And I think we've been taking a step forwards in the way we've had a bit of grit in games, and for a period on the weekend there we only played with 12 men and they didn't score a try.
Ben Davis, 7 News.
Brad Thorne set to unleash another of the youngsters who are considered the future saviours of Queensland rugby. They called Zane Nongor the baby Thor, and he's poised to debut from the bench against the Waratahs Saturday in Sydney. He's only 19, but fair to say he's been in the Reds' crosshairs for ages.
Big Zane Nongor.
He's got a real maturity for his age. He's not a little lad, he's 126 kilo or something. It's a good little story, another guy come along.
Nongor warms the bench. The exhilarating Jordan Petaia will start on the wing, and you suspect Thorne can't wait to let him tear into Queensland's old foe.
He's got the potential to be a great player, 10, 12, 15-year career.
The famed Templeton Cup goes on the line again. For the Lions, pride is on the line. Brisbane still smarting after burning 17 behinds against Richmond. The coach not as vitriolic as some critics.
He obviously understands that we don't go out there to miss.
Still, at training, they've been toiling on getting it right against the Bulldogs Saturday at the Gabba.
We try and put as much pressure on each other as we can, and we try to make it as game-like as we can. So, We'll keep doing that.
Rich, McStay and Birchall, bringing 590 games of experience, are likely to return. The Roar should give keeper Jamie Young a bonus after another superb display against the third-place Phoenix overnight. It was complemented by Scott McDonald's 6th goal in 6 games.
There is the goal and the opener from the in-form striker.
We know we can get better. We know there's a lot of improvement in us, and that's what we'll focus on. We think we acquitted ourselves really well tonight against a very good team.
The Phoenix grabbed an 82nd-minute equaliser, leaving Brisbane 4th with 1 regular season match left, and that's the pace setters, Sydney FC, Monday. Queenslanders Adam Scott and Jason Day hit a list of 6 Aussies for golf's PGA Championship in San Francisco. Strangely, Tiger Woods isn't among the favourites for the event at Harding Park, the first major championships of the coronavirus age.
Yes, it's great to be back playing golf, but it would be better if things were just normal and we were playing in front of crowds and, you know, you're getting the chance to live life normally.
Round 1 begins tonight. The Australian Open tennis boss has told 7 News a decision is likely in November on whether crowds will be allowed into the event. He also insisted there was no thought of moving the first major of the year away from Melbourne, adding player welfare will be critical.
Australia in the month of December and January will be a bubble for international tennis players.
Tarley's hopeful that come January up to 75% of crowd capacity will be allowed in. And a professional cyclist is fighting for his life after a horror crash in the Tour of Poland.
Oh, Jakobsen into the bars! Absolutely hellish crash on the finish line.
Dutchman Faber Jakobsen is in an induced coma with serious head injuries. Dylan Groenewegen, the rider who collided with Jakobsen, was disqualified. Don't forget, it's Suns tonight, 7:30. You'll see it on 7.
Won't miss it. Thanks for that, Paddy. And it's time now to reveal the winners of our Ekka Prize competition. Congratulations, Diane from Leichhardt, Benjamin from Logan Home, Nicole from Fitzgibbon, Maria from Wavell Heights, and Morris from Wilston. They've won an exclusive prize pack, including strawberry sundaes, Dagwood dogs, and of course, family pass to Ekka 2021.
Lucky them. But next, a very special treat. We have cameras around the Ekka for Queensland's biggest fireworks display of 2020. Live next in full.
And perfect conditions for those fireworks this evening before some rain returns tomorrow. I'll have the forecast coming up next.
Changing lives and fortunes.
Oh my God, thank you, Cash Cow.
The only show giving away cash every day is Sunrise on 7.
Australia's hottest destination is just starting to warm up. Queensland's youngest sons are on the rise. Wow! But can they burn off the Saints in a Thursday night thriller? And speaking of thrillers, Essendon have won! Last year went down to the final kick. He has missed! But can the Bombers and Giants do it again? There's time. 4, 3, 2, 1! The Festival of Footy continues tonight on 7.
Don't let persistent joint and back pain stop you there. You've got Advil 12 Hour for fast and long-lasting relief of persistent pain for up to 12 hours with just 1 tablet. So you can do more for longer. Advil 12 Hour.
Streaming now on Disney+.
At Harvey Norman, receive 15% back in Harvey Norman gift cards when you purchase a selected Australian-made Sealy Posturepedic mattress or ensemble. That's right, 15% back in Harvey Norman gift cards. Sealy Posturepedic is proudly Australian-made and owned, featuring the latest technology and innovation for the ultimate support. Upgrade your sleep with a new Australian-made Sealy Posturepedic mattress or ensemble from our selected range and receive 15% back in Harvey Norman gift cards. Harvey Norman, supporting local and Australian-made manufacturers. Offer ends Monday.
Go!
Happy birthday!
Are you serious?
Help take care of your family with Medibank Life Insurance. Apply for cover up to $2.5 million, depending on age and income.
Police fear for the well-being of a woman in Bathurst.
Prompted by reports of a woman's screams, failed to reveal any clues.
We think there's people in Bathurst who have been holding on to secrets for some time.
Even remotely, our home loan specialists can zoom into your home to help you save on your next loan.
Light and Easy's new winter wellbeing menu gives you over 100 delicious meals to enjoy, all packed full of nutrients to keep you healthy throughout the colder months. Eat well and keep well this winter. Order from Light and Easy's new winter menu today.
Maybe we could find ways to call time out on our kids' busy routines before they get sick. But if they do, Children's Panadol can start to reduce fever in just 15 minutes. Together, let's rethink care.
The all-new Isuzu D-Max is coming. Are you ready? Search all-new D-Max.
Jump into the Freedom Sofa event for up to 25% off selected leather and fabric sofas. And right now, get 50 months interest-free store-wide. No one knows sofas like Freedom.
Whatever happens, I want to be with you.
She's gone out with one guy while she's into his brother.
Is there something going on between you two?
A body is about to surface as a ghost from the past arrives.
You're the one that got us in this mess.
I will do whatever it takes to protect this family.
Home and Away, weeknights on 7.
Making news tonight, the man accused of slashing a police officer across the face at Mount Gravatt East has been identified as 25-year-old Sava Hatzapapis. Anger is building in Beirut as the investigation into what caused yesterday's cataclysmic explosion deepens. And big queues are building on the Tweed as Queensland's border lockdown looms.
Weather time now, and Tony, the sky will be lit up tonight before the heavens open tomorrow.
Yes, Max, we have a front row seat here just outside the exclusion zone on the main arena, but don't worry, if you're watching at home, you also have a front row seat. Those fireworks coming up just after the weather. Now, looking ahead, some rain on the way tomorrow, but first to today's conditions. Sunny and warm right across the southeast. Plenty of smoke haze early this morning, then it started to lift a bit during the day, allowing some blue sky to shine through. A few 27s on the board for inland spots here, 5 to 26 at Archerfield. Onto the satellite, cloud and rain is building through central Australia and has also pushed into far western Queensland. Around the capitals tomorrow, plenty of rain. It stretches down towards Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne, with showers also lingering in Adelaide. To Queensland tomorrow, we're still tracking for that band of rain to sweep across southern inland parts tonight, also developing around the central and tropical coasts by tomorrow morning before reaching the southeast late in the day with some light to moderate falls here. In the north, rain and storms possible from the morning right through the day for Townsville and Mackay. Falls probably around 20 to 30 millimetres for the central coast, more likely to be lighter showers in Cairns. Heading south, rain on the coast links up with that inland rain band, then contracts east during the course of the day. All spots on the map here could be wet for a decent period of time tomorrow. The odd storm in the mix too, especially through inland spots. Now across the southeast, cloud thickening tonight with passing showers during the course of the day. Then some more continuous light to moderate rain into the late afternoon and evening. Expect falls mostly around 5 to 10 millimetres. Temperature-wise, warmer tonight and cooler tomorrow under that cloud. 15 to 23 degrees at Redcliffe, 24 at Springwood. On the water, north-northeast winds to 20 knots, seas below a metre inside Moreton Bay. So in Brisbane tomorrow, pack the brolly, cloudy with showers tending to that more continuous rain late, 15 to a top of 24 degrees. Then looking further ahead into the weekend, cloud with a lingering shower or two on Saturday. Sunshine returns on Sunday, but we'll also see westerly winds. They're also known as the Ekka westerlies, setting in on Sunday and Monday. Tops of 21 degrees in Ipswich. Gold Coasters also coolest on Sunday and Monday amongst the wind. Colder nights into next week. And on the Sunshine Coast, 24 degrees with a shower or two on Saturday. Then we're looking at some clearer but windy days into the start of next week. Watch out for the rain tomorrow. Sharyn and Max, I'm going to clear off the main arena. It's back to you.
All right, thank you, Tony. Well, with shows here and across the state cancelled, the Ekka wanted to do something to lift spirits across Queensland and send the message the event will be back brighter next year.
Tonight's show will shoot much higher than normal Ekka fireworks, visible across more of Brisbane.
The Sky Show has been donated by Skylighter Fireworks, so the Ekka is not out of pocket.
The soundtrack tonight is fully Australian.
And there's Johnny Farnham, there's so many people, but I think it's time now, so let the show begin.
What they give them
Wow.
That was simply spectacular. Best Ekka fireworks ever.
Feel it in your stomach, couldn't you?
You can, yeah. A message there for all of Queensland that the Ekka's going to be back next year, bigger and brighter than ever.
Of course, a special thanks to the Ekka and Skylighter fireworks.
And thank you for joining us for this special edition of 7 News.
We'll see you again tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Good night.
Closer each day.